All right, everyone, welcome to Curse of Strahd. This is going to be session 1. Everyone here has already made their characters, and some of you have already had events happen within your characters' lives. Now, that's up to you whether or not you share or not. I think there was only like one person that was Admore, our cleric, that did not get an opportunity to talk to much before the game started. But if anyone would like to just sound off with your character name so I can start getting used to voices.
My name is Thomas Freewater at your service.
My name is Janara Mornings.
No, my name's Jimmy.
All right.
And I am Admore Battlehammer.
And I am Nixalis.
Okay. So just want to make sure that everyone knows that this is an um, LGBTQIA plus game, and that if anyone has certain pronouns they would like to use, just let us know, and we will try our best to do that for you. Other than that, I pretty much use the pronouns of whatever character you are playing. So even if in real life you might be a male, then if you're playing a female character, I'll be calling you she.
Sounds good.
That was
All right. So you should be able to see the screen now has changed to a path in the woods. And you may be able to see your token that's in all black, and that's completely okay.
Uh,
If you can't see your token yet, then please let me know. And please turn on
yeah,
push
I
to talk.
can't see my token.
All right, turn on push
Well,
to talk.
I'm on my tablet, so
Okay.
so push talk really isn't an option. I don't think.
I can maybe turn it down. It's picking up my music. I know my music's working on your end, that's for
Maybe
sure.
I'll turn it. Yeah, I'll turn it down. Like normally, I don't play music on Roll20 because it's usually aggravating, but I'll just leave it lowered. But
All
yeah,
right.
I can't see my token at all.
Okay. Let's see. Salazar is not here. So let me just move his token out of the way.
hey Connor. Flicker
Yes?
just messaged in Discord. Flicker's about to join in here in a second.
Okay. Yeah, I cannot see Discord right now. All right. So Jimmy, you're on the trail to this place that you're looking for. And up ahead you see a gentleman standing on the trail. He's dressed in robes. And just past him, a little further down, you see this woman walk out of the forest and kind of trip or something and fall to the trail. Right now, the gentleman's back is to you, and it is your go. So, what we're going to do is everything you're going to encounter on this map is just consider a friendly, okay? This is how we're going to do introductions for our characters. So instead of just going down the list and everyone introduces something, we're going to actually role play it through.
Okay. Yeah. Jimmy will walk up to that figure, and when he's like 15 feet away, he'll. Hey, fellow traveler.
He did not make a sound. I will just be him for a second. He turns around and looks at you. He is a human. You can tell by the way he's dressed that he is a caster of magic of some sorts, but something like a dark magic maybe. And he looks at you, and he looks at the girl. Did you just get here too?
Yeah. Yeah. I just left from the town. I was on my way to Barovia. Is that where you're heading to?
I'm just traveling. I don't know where I'm going. I'm hunting some.
Okay, let's see here. I try to find his. Where's he at? All right, everyone's name's different in Discord.
Hmm?
Here we go. All right, where? Salzar. Yes, I was just in my room, and I had the craziest conversation with a woman that just randomly appeared in my room. The guards were pounding on my door, wanting to know where they were looking for me, and I had a bad feeling. I jumped out the window to escape. When I jumped to the window, there was fog, and then all of a sudden, I'm standing here. I'm no longer in the town. I have no idea where this is.
That sounds really creepy. Jimmy walks past Salazar a little bit. He noticed the gorilla. Hello,
Yes,
mister.
I think
You need any help?
I think we should go in here and help this woman. And Jannar, I tell you what, Jimmy, you go ahead and describe your character real quick.
Okay, Jimmy is a tall man with blonde hair, blue eyes, and tan skin. He looks young, but his facial expression is tense. He wears a leather jacket with lots of pockets and buckles. He carries a large sack with his equipment on his back. You can see a short sword visible on his belt, and he wears a silver chain around his neck.
And Jannar, can you describe your character, please?
Well, not much to describe about me. I'm your average height, 5'10", standard build, nothing too special. The clothes I wear for functional, for hunting. My bow's always at the ready. Eyes always looking for evil in the shadows. And I don't carry much jewelry or anything that makes sounds because I like to be very sneaky and quiet when I'm hunting.
Okay. The three of you, there's only 2 tokens. I have to control his token. You look at her over, and she looks fine. I mean, she's got a bump. And you decide to head on the trail towards the closest town. All right. And that for you two pause. And next, this is for you. Admore did not make it, so remove his token here.
Hmm.
So next, you're walking in the woods, and you are traveling along a trail one morning, enjoying the morning hike. When all of a sudden, walking through a thick patch of fog, you catch the scent of death on the air. You decide to find its source, and the foul scent leads you to a human corpse. The human corpse is half buried in the underbush about 15 feet from the road. The young man appears to be a commoner. His muddy clothes are torn and raked with claw marks. Crows have been at the body, which is surrounded by the paw prints. The man has obviously been dead for several days here. He holds a crumpled envelope in one hand.
Okay. Um, yeah, I guess after determining that he's too far gone, I would go ahead and reach for the envelope.
Okay, you reach down and pick up the envelope, and as you do so, you hear wolves howling in the distance. You open the note, and you begin to read it. Where is the handout? And this is for everyone.
Hail thee of might and valor, I, the burgomaster of Barovia, send you honor with despair. My adopted daughter, the fair
I cannot
Irina
read cursive for the
Koyana,
life of me.
has been these past
You should be
nights
able to hear it
bitten by
reading.
a vampire. For over
Oh,
400 years, this creature has strained the lifeblood of my people. Now, my dear Irina languishes and dies from an
oh.
unholy wound
I don't know if it's
caused
just
by
me, but I
this
don't hear it
vile
reading.
beast.
Turn up
He
your
has become
volume
too
on
powerful to
Roll20
conquer.
itself.
So I say to you, give us up for
Mhm.
dead and encircle this
Yeah, I
land
still
with
hear the
the
piano.
holy symbols of good. Let
Oh, you
holy
can.
men call upon their power,
Yeah.
that the devil
That
may
does.
be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped in this community. Return for your reward after we have all departed for a better life.
And to the south, you hear some people walking down the trail. They're not trying to be stealthy. They're just walking. And Nix, if you would describe your character for me.
Sure thing. I am average height. Uh, I have very light, uh, almost white colored hair, gray eyes, pretty pale skin, but you probably would have heard her before you saw her. She has pretty loud armor on. She's not one for subtlety at all. Um, but other than that, she's just, I guess she would probably have a very concerned look on her face.
Okay. And Admore, I apologize. I did not realize you were here. I had you and Flicker backwards. So if you would describe your character too.
All right. Standing only about 4.5 feet tall, but quite stocky. The long brown beard, covered in chainmail, with one glove that is white, stands this dwarf.
The two of you go for it and meet the two that are walking on the trail. If you'd like to roleplay anything, let me know. Or just go ahead and roleplay it.
Who are you people?
Hey,
I'm
my
a
name's Jimmy.
hunter.
Well, I
I'm
would
a
be
hunter.
Admore. I'm a worshiper and somewhat of a leader at my local temple.
Oh, do any of you know what happened to this young man over here? He seems to have been killed by something. I don't know what.
I'm surprised y'all haven't heard about this forest. Such evil sits in these hills and mountains. Surprised y'all can't.
I heard that there's somebody around here with a lot of gold, so that's why I.
I'm here tracking the very evil that killed my family. I want to kill it if it takes my life.
So when you say evil, what do you mean by?
I was told what I was searching for was here, but not what creature it is or whatever it is. Just what I was looking for was here, and so I.
Yeah, I left my temple this morning to go for a walk, and fog just got thicker and thicker, and sounds of birds went away, and I found myself out here.
That's very similar to what happened to me. I'm researching. I've heard stories of things of evil intent. but I did not expect to find something quite so soon.
Did
And I'm
either of you?
sorry. And I'm just coming here besides this. There's some gold, and my wife wants to open a bakery. So I guess we should keep moving through this fog. It's pretty hard to see.
Off in the distance, you hear more wolves howling, and they seem to be getting closer. You decide it'd be safer to continue on down the path. And down the path, you start to see what appears to be some structure, possibly a gate. But standing with this area is two people. Um, let's see. Did Flicker make it?
I'm here.
Awesome.
I'm just being quiet so I didn't interrupt or anything.
No, that's cool. All right. So, Flicker, if you would describe your character for us.
Yeah, Thicker is a tiny tanned gnome. She's pretty small even for a gnome. She wears these like golden glasses with different kind of magnification things. She's got like a white shirt, a utility belt, and she kind of keeps a big black tome really close to her. She's got her hair up in a bun with a quill in it for easy writing. Um, she's just she kind of just looks like a librarian, really unassuming.
Okay. And Thomas, would you describe your character for us?
Yeah. You see looks like a young man with the dark blue hair that at a distance you think looks pretty normal, but then if you get a closer look, you realize it's seaweed. His skin is a light blue, and it even glistens with looks like water. Just just always just always going down a little bit. He's currently wearing must be rather worn leather armor, and in one hand he has a quarterstaff, and on his back he has a shield. And you see him looking around like with his nose up, sniffing, and he looks very annoyed.
Flicker is just taking notes, kind of as she's looking around at this,
And Tom,
and especially at the strange blue man next to her.
and as the others get closer, you hear him say, "The air smells wrong. God damn it! I knew I shouldn't have got out of bed." Howdy, friend or foe?
Friend.
All right. Well, considering you hadn't shot me yet, I'll take your word on it.
You know, we're a little worried about the wolves we've been hearing, and also we've all come here by mysterious circumstances. Do you guys
Let
know
me
anything?
guess. Personally, no. All I know is I was walking back to my pond to get some more sleep. Ran into some fog that seemed to burn basically everything, and I'm pretty resistant to burning. And I don't think I don't think I'm I don't think I'm on my home planet. The air's too wrong.
I was in a room, and then I was outside, and there's a lot of fog. But I mean, it's very interesting, and I'm quite excited to learn how all this has happened.
Magic.
Well, obviously magic, but what kind of magic? Who did the magic?
Playing a magic and
Any kind of
playing a magic and probably not somebody very nice going by the area.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Okay, I
Thomas
just want
just motions to the headless statues in Black Iron Gate.
to make sure, can everyone see each other's character name and their health bar above their tokens?
I can't see Admore's.
Okay.
I can see everybody's.
Yeah, I
Yeah, the
can't
only
Yeah,
one
I
I
see
can't
everybody's
see
but
that bar.
Admore's.
And I'm not
Alright,
sure if it
that's
matters, but I have access to Thomas's character sheet. I'm not sure if that's
No, okay.
I
Yeah,
have the same.
Yeah, same.
I think we all do.
No, my secrets. Oh, my secrets.
I didn't know if I wanted to say anything. I might have wanted to like change your spells around or something. But I
I
figured,
mean, I would notice considering I only have a few.
Alright, let me fix Thomas is fixed. Let me fix Admore's token real quick.
And I cannot now access Thomas's sheet anymore, which is good.
Yay.
You're now hidden again. So there's one other person in the crowd that has he's a gentleman. He's about 5'9", has a beard, sitting in robes, but he has a book in his hand. His book has kind of inlaid in a copper and gold. Now, Flicker, you notice out of the corner of your eye, you see it gleam, and you notice the runes on it seem to be of necromantic spell book of some kind.
I get a little excited, but not too excited that everyone else notices.
I reach over and I start fiddling with the quills in my.
Well, fellas.
She's standing in front of these gates, and as you walk up to this area, the fog spills out of the forest, and jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road are high stone buttresses looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on stonework, and dew clings to the cold tenacity to the rusted bars. Two headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you only with silence.
I really don't like this place.
As you approach the gates as a party, the gates swing open for you as if by themselves. Hesitantly, you walk through the gates and they close behind you. So you all get to designate now who wants to be in charge of the party token on the map. Everyone's going to have a thing to control, so you can choose to control this token or something else.
I guess I could control it.
Is that Thomas?
Yes, ma'am.
I have
Okay.
no objection.
So can everyone see the yellow ring kind of around it? It should be glowing. Well, it's not. You can't see the complete ring at the second, but kind of a yellow around the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a single tile.
There you go. So the way this works is this going to help me keep track of time of day. The yellow ring, and you guys decide to move the token. If you move within to the edge of the ring, that's 8 hours of time.
Awesome.
That's a smart way of doing it.
Mm-hmm. Especially in a place that don't have a sun.
Wait, y'all can't see in the dark?
with magic I can. And if I turn into a giant spider.
All right, Thomas, just a test. See if you can move the token now. Awesome. Okay. So I'll let you all decide where you want to move the token, and he will move the token to where you want to go. You have a road here, and you're on this side of the gates. That kind of goes down to your southwest. through the woods.
Thomas is gonna look at the road. Does he see any like obvious tracks, like footprints or?
No, the only thing you can see is these really thick woods that you have, since your knowledge of the woods, would kind of hesitate you from even walking into them. And the only safe way is down this trail.
Yeah, Thomas is like, I really don't like it here. Whoever brought us here, I want to have a word or two with them. Place is wrong.
And so we go forward and see if we can get out of these woods. See if maybe we can
I
come across a village or encampment or something.
I concur, but be on your guard. You said you heard wolves earlier.
Yeah, a whole
Yes.
pack of them coming by.
Then be on your guard. They like to be ambush predators.
And please,
I
if
know.
anyone needs help, please do not hesitate to ask.
So, what's everyone's name? I'm Thomas Freewater.
You can call me Flicker. It's
I am
giving.
Atmore Battlehammer.
My name's Jimmy.
Just Jimmy?
Just call me Janelle.
I hear you talking, Jen. What are you saying? I heard my name.
I said, just call me Janelle.
Okay. I thought you said Carmen.
Alright.
My name is Nick
Well,
Solis, but most people just call me Nick.
alright. What can everybody here do? Y'all look like the adventuring sort. I've got a couple folks like y'all.
Such probing questions.
I'm in a strange land with strange people. I like to know what I'm dealing with.
I'm simple. I hunt evil.
What's with me?
Oh, I'm a man of my faith.
Alright.
I have a talent for alleviating people of possessions that they don't necessarily need.
Keep my eye on you.
I'm just a wizard. Just your average run of the mill wizards.
You wizards don't have a run. At least in my experience.
Well, like you said, this is a strange new land. Maybe it's different here than where you're from.
Indeed.
Which is where, by the way. And Flicker just kind of looks up at you, ready to write down your answer.
I'm from a world called Greyhawk.
Got it. Thank you.
Where are you from, little missy?
Oh no, my computer wants to restart. Hold on.
No! No, not restarting it.
No.
Don't worry, there's the postpone button.
Okay.
Still usable.
Yay.
So,
Um,
if you saw in the announcement today, this campaign at first seems very railroaded, but it is going to open up to open world. You can do whatever. So the way I'm going to do this is, if you ever heard of madness and fear rules in D&D, if you all decide to do something that I know for a fact is going to cause a TPK, I'm going to give hints. And usually I will start telling you that your characters are very scared or they're very extremely nervous about doing this. And that's kind of like me saying, are you sure you want to do this?
rip everybody. The end.
So down the road, you try to make out maybe like a little bit of a village up ahead. As you get closer, the tall shapes that looms out of the dense fog. It seems to surround everything. The muddy ground underfoot gives way to slick, wet cobstones. The tall shapes become recognizable as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from the pools of blackness. No sound cuts the silence except for the mournful sobbing that echoes throughout the streets from a distance.
Thomas has his quarterstaff out, and then uses slowly. Be on your guard.
And your tokens are going to be in the right-hand side, about halfway down. I'm pulling your tokens out now. Hold on a second.
And I'm so sorry. You said that we heard what?
Sobbing.
Sobbing. You hear the echoes of sobbing through the streets from a distance. Let's see. Flicker, you need one. There you go.
Little tiny flicker.
I don't like
so
that.
little.
So very small.
Okay, Jimmy. Let's see. Next, you have one. Thomas, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so all here.
Did you all hear that?
Yes. Be on
Someone
your
could need
guard.
help.
Or it could be a banshee.
Flicker just kind of hugs her tome close to her, looking around at all the buildings, kind of hoping to see where the crying might come from.
Do the buildings seem inhabited, or they seem really old?
The buildings
Like
seem really
falling apart.
old. Yeah, kind of run down, falling apart.
Which direction is the sobbing coming from?
Just off in the distance, away from you.
This place seems more dreary than my home.
Oh.
I've been to too many villages just like this.
This is why I tend to avoid civilization. Too much misery half the damn time.
Well, should we look for whatever this noise is? Find out where the hell we are.
I suppose. Did we see like a sign coming in, like a city sign or whatever?
You didn't see anything.
Okay.
Just this weird town.
Well, let's walk forward a little bit and keep our eyes open.
Way ahead of it.
Can we make out a direction that we hear the sobbing from?
Straight ahead. So to your west is on the map. As you are traveling down this road, things get a little bit louder. You can kind of hear some music off in the distance as well.
I really don't like it.
I will. I'll draw my long sword and just hold my shield up, ready to go.
Yeah, and Shelly is always on. Like after a minute, he just keeps casting it. And he also has his shield out, but probably going to wild shape at some point.
Yeah, all the houses here, they seem unnaturally kind of dark on the inside.
Seeing everybody else preparing, Admore is going to draw his warhammer and don his shield.
So do we want to check out the music or the crime?
The crime. They might need help.
I'll move your hair a little bit. There, you just jumped. There you go.
Teleported.
So to your north, you see a building, a large building here. And sorry, I'm about to sneeze. Oh, wait. Okay. From this building, a single shaft of light thrusts illumination into the main square. its brightness looking like a solid pillar in heavy fog. Above the gaping doorway, a sign hangs, precautiously askew, proclaiming this to be the Blood on the Vine Tavern. And the music is coming from this building, and to your south, you hear the crying.
The crying. Let's go check it out.
Does the tavern seem like it's inhabited? Like, do we see like
Yes.
light coming out of the windows? Okay.
Yes,
Are the windows
It's
open
just-
or closed?
they're closed.
Okay, let's go find that crying.
And as you pass, let's see, this button, I need that one. This building here on the corner to the south. A sparse light also comes from this building. It spills out from behind drawn, heavy curtains. A sign over the door, creaking on its hinges, reads Bildras Mercantile. The sound of the crying is from the south.
So we have a tavern and a merchant.
Well, at least there are people here that might be alive.
And Nyx and Flicker, as you come in from this next building on you right here, a moaning sob floats through the still gray streets, coloring your thoughts with sadness. The sounds flow from a dark two-story townhouse, and this seems to be the source of the crying. This house is about 40 square feet and is boarded up and barricaded from the inside.
My gut says we shouldn't go in there.
So what if they're hurt?
We cannot just ignore them.
Have y'all never heard of undead?
No, I haven't.
Seen too much
Agmore
of it.
wants to approach the building
Okay.
and cast Detect Evil and Good in front of the building.
Okay. As you cast a spell, you have a feeling of good all around you coming off of the people around. From the building, it doesn't seem to be good or evil in any kind of way. But you
Does he
feel
know
like
if
there's
there's, like,
someone
a-
good. But you don't detect any like undead around you.
Okay.
So, you guys want to get in here?
Let's knock on the door. See if
Nyx will walk up. to the
Flicker's
door.
kind of making her way around the side of the house.
She'll just call out, "Hello. Can anyone hear me? Are you okay?"
No, leave me alone.
Please, I can hear you crying. Are you sure there's nothing wrong?
My daughter, she's gone missing. With that, she kind of opens the door a crack and peeks out. Who are you?
My name is Nyx. I have come on behalf of the moon goddess. Please tell me, where were you last seeing her?
The moon goddess. I've never heard of this goddess. You must be one of those travelers from a different land. Please, come in. She opens the door for you to enter.
I'll go inside.
Okay. For those who enter inside,
Silas goes and
okay,
hesitantly.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
my daughter, her name is Gertruda, and she's been in this house for her entire life. It's just a couple weeks ago. I have not seen her since. And I fear the worst, that something has gone wrong, that maybe the evil has found her.
evil.
Yes. The devil, he walks these lands at night.
A
How old is
devil.
your daughter?
She's probably about 18 or 19 now.
And no one's seen anything. Have you not asked around?
I barricaded us inside this building so no one would be able to see us. The devil wouldn't be able to get to us either. Or so I thought.
What
Does
exactly
this
is this
evil
devil?
demon
You don't know? Where are you
I do
from?
here. Not from here.
All over the place.
Yes, this land it's cursed. And there is a great evil. He walks these lands. Many of us around here call him the devil. He may look like a normal man, but he is not. We know that he drinks in the blood of the young women.
Shit.
Well, that's creepy.
you're telling me there's a vampire?
Shh, shh. Yes, yes. Do not say that loud. Yes.
I knew it.
I felt
Here,
it.
I tell you what. If you see my daughter, Gertruda, someone carry this doll with you. If you see her, send her back to me.
What's she look like?
Flicker reaches out and accepts the doll.
The doll is how can I explain this? Kind of like a frayed rag doll. And stitched into the
Like
hem.
Raggedy Ann?
Yeah, kind of like a Raggedy Ann, but just really dirty and has seen better days. And it's stitched into the hem of the dress as a tag. It's very frayed, but you can make up the words "is no fun, is no Blinsky."
Is no what?
Blinsky. Here, I'll put it in chat.
Yes, please. Is no fun, is no Blinsky?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, that is the person who made the doll. All the toy makers' dolls are it has that tag.
Do you have any idea where she might have gone? Like any other nearby villages?
I am a complete loss. I don't know why she would leave. I kept telling her that it's not safe outside. And I would sneak
Well,
outside and
you
bring
said
food back for us.
You said she was 18?
That is correct.
Probably a boy. Maybe a girl. I don't
No, she's a girl.
know. No,
No.
I meant why
She
she
left
left.
4-1.
Oh, 4-1. If he did, please put the fear life into this poor person. My daughter must be kept
Not
safe
special.
from the devil. We must stay barricaded inside this house.
What's the name of this village and this land?
Why, you are in the village of Barovia. And the land itself is Barovia.
Nice and sweet. Simple.
One question, ma'am. Does this devil
You cut off after the word have.
I said, does this devil have a name?
Why, well, yes. Strahd. Strahd von Zerovich.
Can
He is the
any
ruler
of
of
us roll
these
like
lands.
can any of us roll like a history check if we would know anything about Strahd or
Well, you would not know anything about Strahd because you're not from this land.
alright. I wouldn't. Okay.
Excuse me, miss. Do you know where the burgomaster is? I've heard he has a job for me.
With the burgomaster, yes, he is. Sorry, he is just down the road here. Leave my house and go straight down the road here. Leave my house and take a left. Go to the south on your map.
All right, thank you.
And the stories of this Strahd, they don't say where he takes these young women, or where he
Eh,
would take up residence.
why in his castle? Castle Ravenloft. It sits high above on the hill.
Of course, he's a vampire. Of course he's gonna have a cat.
Well, castle, crypt, pocket dimension. They tend to like those.
I feel like Thomas knows a little too much.
Well, I know one thing.
I mean, he's
This
a level
Strahd
3
family-
druid who was trained in druidic ways. Vampires are anathema to nature.
The pocket dimension part.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if they were wizards in a past life.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, that's in general. Vampires can be anything.
All right, so what do you all want to do? You have the music to your north. You're staying on the porch of this woman's house, and you know to the south is the burgomaster's residence.
I say you go talk to this guy and
If all of you don't mind, I'd like to go talk to the burgomaster, see what this job is about, and perhaps maybe he'll have more information about this vampire. Like, do you guys know what a vampire is? I have no idea what a vampire is.
Nothing good.
they're evil. They're evil and they need to be killed.
They're powerful
Or
undead.
studied.
No, killed.
Studied and then killed is fine.
Anyway,
I'd rather,
from my training, I know that vampires are powerful undead.
no, vampires deserve to die. They,
I agree.
Alright, so they're not like humanoids?
They were before they got turned.
yes, they have to be bitten before they're churned.
Alright, so I didn't receive a very good education as a child.
Bless it.
Flicker will go up to the lady and just kind of cup her hands and be like, "We'll find your daughter. Don't worry. I've got her doll." And she kind of puts the doll in her bag and gives her a reassuring
thank
nod
you.
before heading out the house.
Thank you.
And as they leave, Tom will say, "Well, once we get out of the city, I can possibly track her scent if we want to. I can turn into a wolf. Track it if a scent isn't too.
Well, she's been gone for like 2 weeks.
It depends if it's rain or if she's been around lately.
Whatever we can do, I would appreciate it. I wish to find this child.
We'll do our best.
But
Well, let's go find this.
Quartermaster?
That is Burgermeister.
Burgomaster, yes.
Oh, Burgerman.
And your character's been Hamburglar. The burgomaster, just in case you did not know, a burgomaster is kind of like a mayor.
Thank you. I did not know actually.
I think there's one in one of those like old claymations, Christmas movies,
Mm.
the like Saint Nick one.
All right. Well, if this is somebody that you know, Jim, perhaps you should lead the way.
Flicker's just kind of already walking ahead,
Uh,
totally oblivious.
A wary-looking mansion squats behind a rusted iron fence. The gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside, while the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet, against the walls, the growth has been tramped down to create a path all about the domain. Heavy claw markings have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls. Great black marks tell of the fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows are barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omen.
They're
well,
really
is it?
trying to keep something out.
Well, Jimmy, I don't think you have a job.
Well, I didn't come this far not to get the job, so let me check. Jimmy will knock on the door, and while he's doing so, he'll call out, "Hey, I'm here for the job. Anybody home?"
As you walk up to the house, you proceed to see that the discerned trample weeds all around the mansion, as well as scores of wolf and paw prints and human footprints all about.
Hey, look, it's those wolves you were worried about.
How big are these paw prints? They normal sized wolves or they look bigger?
A little larger than a normal size wolf.
Might be dire wolf.
You holler out
There's
for
no
anyone
way
inside
to get
inside the mansion, and you hear a woman's voice in return. Who goes there? Who's trespassing on the burgomaster's land?
Hey, my name's Jimmy. I received a letter from the burgomaster saying that he wanted me to protect some.
A letter? There's no possible way you received a letter. As she opens the door, you see a woman dressed in armor and carrying a long sword. She is strikingly beautiful. She looks at your letter. It's like, there is no way this came from here. Whoever has sent this has laid a trap for you. My name is Irina.
So that
And
means you won't pay me.
do you see our mansion? There is nothing to pay you with.
Oh man,
Sorry, Jimmy.
this day just went from bad to worse.
Please, what can you tell us about this Strahd individual? We've heard that a young lady has gone missing.
A young lady. I'm not for sure who the young lady is. There's several around here. The Strahd character, and she seems to grasp her head like she's having problems remembering. I'm not for sure who this person is.
Her name is Gertruda.
Gertruda. Never met this Gertruda. I'm quite sorry.
Is there anyone else is there anyone else in the house we can speak to?
Tell you what. Did you meet my brother, Ismark? Did he send you this way?
No, ma'am.
Ah,
You don't
very
know this
well.
guy.
My Ismark went to find his help, and I just didn't know if he had sent you or not. But since I have the door open, and you have been set into a trap. I am curious as to see how this plays out. I'll tell you what. Why don't you come inside and um, we can talk more. As you can see, the our house has been being attacked at night for several weeks by
About what
wolves,
exactly?
by wolves, very large wolves.
Mm.
And tell me, who is this burgomaster you were looking for? And she kind of raises her eyebrow.
It says his name was Kolyan Indira.
I see. Well, come inside. And she escorts you inside, and inside the house is an open coffin. Inside the open coffin is a man who she points. This is the man you seek. That's why there's no way that you could have received this letter from him. He has been dead for almost 3 days now, and he. Well, we were guessing he had a heart attack from the fighting of from fighting the wolves off, and since his death, and I've been guarding this house, the house has not come back under attack again. But Ismark was going for help because we got to move his body to the church for a proper burial.
Well,
Tell
I'm
me,
sorry.
what is this?
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, miss.
This town is going to be in very hard times now that this burgomaster is gone. He was quite a kind man. He raised me from a young child. I tell you what, since Ismark didn't send you, would you be willing to help me move this great man and help him have a great burial at the church?
Sure.
Is there money involved?
I'm willing to help.
No, there's no money involved, but maybe we can find out more information to who exactly sent that letter that's in your hand.
I mean, I can't physically help, but I'll help morally and in spirit.
Do you have a carriage or something to take him in?
Yes, behind the house is a small building, and inside there there's a carriage, and you could pull it around the front. And we could load him into the carriage.
How far away is this church?
Not far, just across town to the north.
Hmm.
Well, I'd say let us get a better lay of the land here, but I wouldn't mind helping out.
I agree. I was just going to recommend that maybe we do it during the daytime and not during the evening hours.
There's a daytime?
Yes, even though this land is covered in clouds most of the time, there's definitely a difference between the daytime and the nighttime.
How much longer before?
Before what?
I would say about 8 hours.
How, 8 more hours before daylight?
Mm-hmm.
We did pass a tavern.
And come back. Yes. I have one question. What does your brother
What is your brother? What?
look like?
He is an average sized man, I would say, but it's very frail.
Can we tell about what time of day it is?
You would guesstimate, try to put it into like our time, that it would be roughly about 9 o'clock at night.
All right. Admore is going to speak up and say that he's more than willing to help move the body, but of course during the day.
All right, well, shall we head to the tavern then? Or
I feel like that sounds a very good idea.
Yeah,
Yes, let's go.
might as well.
And the brother's name was Ismark?
Yes, Ismark.
So walking to the tavern, I guess.
Okay, so straight down. You can just move your tokens back down to the four-way there. Um, you have the tavern to the northwest of the square.
Flicker comes up to the door, kicks it in. She goes, I'm looking for an Ismark.
Breaks her ankle.
Probably. She's trying to act tough in front of her.
Kicks the door, breaks ankle, rip.
And let me get your tokens here.
Just calm down, little gnome.
Yeah, don't be hurting yourself now.
I'm just gonna glare at Thomas.
What? You're the one who kicked a possibly locked door.
Why would they lock a tavern door?
The wolves.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
she said they were attacking their house at night. It's evening. It's not night yet. Plus, there's music. Context clues, people. Context clues.
I mean,
You're
they
learning that
wouldn't
by
know.
reading.
From what I gathered, they wouldn't exactly know if the other if the place was attacked because they were inside the building.
Okay, who am I missing? I gotta add
And
more.
you don't seem to have left
Flicker.
left the man in quite some time.
Nora, Jimmy, Nix. Thompson. What? Oh, y'all there.
Oh God, is Karma breaking up for anybody else?
That might have been me.
Yeah, she
I
did.
was kind of talking to myself.
Okay.
Sorry. I do that sometimes. I even answer sometimes myself. All right, so you kick open the door, Flicker, and you walk inside, kind of like an old west film. And everyone just stops and stares at you for a second. And you're not. I'm looking for Ismark. And this gentleman right here kind of raises his hand. That's me.
We're gonna help you move a body.
Oh, shh. Don't be so loud.
Oh,
Come over
sorry.
here. And with that, the music begins to play again. There's a bard on the stage in the upper right, and there seems to be several patrons about the bar. There's a woman dancing and seems to be an entertainer of sorts in front of the bard. So, how do you know about the body? Ismark asks.
I just pointed at Jimmy.
I was trying to get a job from your dad. Apparently, he has passed away, and your sister asked us to move the body.
Oh, so you've already been to the residence? Yes. As you know, we don't want anyone to know this, but the burgomaster has recently passed in the last few days, and I was looking for help, someone that could help us move the body without the town knowing and going into chaos.
Sorry, I wasn't aware of that. I thought it was common knowledge. See that he was Yeah.
It's okay.
Program.
It's hard to keep secrets in such a small village, but we try to keep the sanity a little bit, since this land is very dark and evil as it is, that people are on edge. See,
Don't
as
say.
see as just look at some of these people, and he points to the people around, and you can tell that some are dressed more vibrantly colored than others. Some, like have that sparkle in their eye, like there's life about them, and some just kind of have like dead eyes, like overly depressed people.
Totally not evil guy right here. Totally not evil.
The bard that's playing on the stage, what does he look like? What's his like race? What's all of that stuff?
He appears to be a male that's human with curly hair. He's playing a lute.
Okay, thank you.
So I take it that you're gonna help me and Irina move the body, but I have another task that needs to be dealt with as well. I don't know if you all would be interested in doing so, but it's of great importance. See, Irina, and he looks around really to see if anyone's eavesdropping at all. She's been bitten by a vampire, and this vampire has warped her mind so that she cannot remember exactly who he is to point him out. But we must get her to safety. And after we move the body and do the burial, I think I would need help finding a safe place for her to hide, so we can figure out a way of disposing this person.
You have any safe place in mind?
Well, to be honest, some people say the town of Valakai will be great, but I personally think that maybe over in far to the west in the Abbey would be the best place for her to hide her from the eyes of the undead.
Hmm.
I'll tell you what, how would you how would you go and get a drink on me? And he waits to the bartender for him to know that he has your tab, and think on it for the evening. In the morning, we can move the body, and then you all can have a decision.
I definitely need a drink or 10. I hate the air here. Ugh. Rotten dead. Ugh.
Yes, the air here is much heavier than where you're from. It's got a thick, mildewy smell about it.
It just smells wrong. Like, good, good, uh, good old high perception. It has its drawbacks. Um, crap.
All of
What
them
was the
sit at the
guy's name
bar.
again? What was the brother's name again? I didn't forgot.
Which name?
The brother's
Ismark.
name?
Is Mark.
Ismark. Have you seen a young woman, Gertrude?
Gertruda. Yes, she was
Oh
as
God.
quite the looker. Some of us men, as we've been growing up, have been wanting to take her hand, as she has such great beauty. But her mom keeps her locked in the house. I think her mom is a little over the edge, if you will.
Well, I mean,
Talk about
considering
talking about
the area.
always boarding them up in their house.
I mean, given the wolves that attacked the manor and the whole creepy guy with sucks blood.
Yes, but her mom is
Have
still
you
over the
seen
edge. No, no, I have
Oh,
not seen her.
You heard any rumors of someone successfully getting close to her, despite the whole isolation?
No. Jimmy, you are at the bar. Jannar takes a seat down at the corner there. Two of the patrons come over and kind of sit adjacent to you. They're well dressed. They're very overdressed for where they are, according to everybody else. And the man leans in and goes, "How you doing?" He's very drunk. Doesn't look like you're supposed to be here either.
Well, I was lied to on a letter about coming here to get a job. Apparently, I was trapped, and there is a devil in this land. I've had better days. How about yourself?
Well, as you can tell by look at us, this is my wife, Misha. My name's Ordov. We're not supposed to be in this place either, as I can tell, as I think you can tell by looking at us. And he points to his fine wardrobe that he's wearing. I tell you what, my wife makes the best. Misha, she makes the best stew. And how about you all come back to my place? Our place. And we can talk about how totally crazy this place is and get you
Can I hear this
fed.
conversation?
No. Um, oh, my ultimate just reset. That's right.
Be
Let's
right
see.
back.
Get you water and find out. And let's see. Get you fed and rested and ready to find your way out of this forsaken place. And if you find a way out, maybe you can take us along with you.
I'll talk to everybody else and see where's your place if I decide to take you up on that offer.
Oh, we'll lead you there. It's just on the corner of town. And just let them know that if any of them are hungry, Misha stew is the best you've ever had.
Oh, real? All right. Well, I'll talk to them. Let me just get my drink at the bar, and I'll head over and speak with them all.
Very well. We'll be over here sitting down. Just come let us know before you leave.
Easy to see with those fancy clothes on.
Misha kind of gives you a smile and a wink as she walks past and sits down.
Yeah, Jimmy will just try to get his drink and then head back to everybody else.
Okay.
All right, so he gets his drink, I guess, and
Yes.
he'll head back. Hey,
My music
that
is working.
fancy.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
What was that? Was that again? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
My music started working.
Oh, nice.
Hey! I'm back, by the way.
So Jimmy comes back with his beer. Hey guys, that well-dressed fellow over there, he invited us to stay with his wife, to stay the night, and he says that they make really good stew. What do you guys think? You want to take him up on the offer?
I'm not opposed. I actually do not have any funds of my own. So they're offering a place of free rest. I pass it up.
I would rather rest at the manor, honest. Because at least that way we know.
Jimmy, do
We're
they
among
seem
friends.
trustworthy?
Well, he said he was a foreigner like us that was trapped here, but I don't know. Can Jimmy just like, should I roll anything to get a general sense, or just go by the interaction?
Let's go by the interaction.
He seemed like a nice enough fellow, just a little overzealous about his wife's stew. I mean, and it's a free place to stay for a night. I imagine we'd have to pay to stay here, and I mean, the manor would be getting attacked by wolves.
I mean, it hadn't
She
been
said
attacked
it hadn't been attacked.
since the you know what.
Well,
Ismark, can we stay with you?
I am actually staying here at the tavern for the evening.
so your sister's staying by herself?
Don't let her beauty fool you. She is quite skilled with the sword.
I picked up on that. It just seems lonely.
My sister is very
Especially
headstrong
given,
and very determined. She could have came
especially
here with
given
me.
she's been attacked already.
He looks
Is this your
very
first
drunk.
night staying away from the manor, Ismark?
He smiles and nods. Yes.
Ismark, are you staying with someone very special?
I'm not for sure what you asked. I'm sorry.
I said, Ismark, are you staying with somebody very special?
I'd like to. I mean, you seem like a really nice girl.
Not me.
Oh.
Oh lordy. I think he's just staying here for the night in the inn, my dude.
Well, he's mild, so I was assuming that usually when people stay in an inn, when they live in the same place that the inn is at, it's because they're with somebody.
Or they're in a town known for dangerous events.
Well, then why wouldn't you stay at home? Where it's
Man.
familiar.
He
'Cause
came
he
to the
wants to-
inn to look for friends, for help.
And to get drunk, I'm assuming.
Well, is Mark? Sounds like you'll need some luck finding that special someone of yours. But for the rest of us, do we want to take should we take a vote? Because I'd rather we all stay together, since I trust all of you more than I trust anybody else in this land. So should it be the manor, or we go to the Ornov's place, the stew guy?
Oh, we got Salazar.
Hello, sorry about that. I had a
It's okay.
family emergency. Thought it was Monday, so.
No, it's
Oh,
okay.
I
Come
hope
on in.
everything's okay.
Let me get your token on
everything's
screen.
good.
I vote for the manor.
As do I.
And
quite-
I agree with that, so we can take the body to the temple in the morning.
I'm in
Real
agreement
quick.
as well.
Ismark, and I lean really close on the table. Obviously, I'm only like 4 feet tall.
It's like you climb on the table.
No, I'm still in my chair. I'm just real close.
Standing on the chair.
Do you know of Strahd?
He looks around kind of nervously. Yes. Around here, people call him the devil.
Then why does your sister not know of him?
Very good point.
I'll lean
because
She
I
has
did not
no
want to.
idea who he
Yes. Yes. I know. I did not want to say out loud, but it is Strahd who has been visiting her at night.
was. Then all the more reason we stay there and protect her.
I see your point. I'm just
Wait,
very drunk, and I don't know.
You said this character comes and visits at night?
Yes. Why?
Well then.
Of course.
Well then, looks like we have. Well, then it looks like we have a means to remove him.
Pay a visit to the visit.
Please, just remember, we need to get information about Gertruda. Let's not act too rashly.
And study him.
Honestly, my gut says she's dead. Or what?
I'd like to look behind Ismark and notice if I can see the people moving around in the background.
Yes. There's people moving around. There was an elf-looking character that's very dark skin that came up and talked to the dancing woman, and they disappeared behind the door, and then they came back again.
Oh my.
Do they look suspicious?
They looked like they were up to no good.
Does the elf look familiar to the dream that I had with the sarcophagus? This was something that you
Oh, yes.
told me previously.
No. Self does not.
Okay.
I'll lean up to Ismark again. Who's the elf?
He shrugs. No idea.
I thought this was a small village. Do you not know everyone?
I know some people around here, but I had no idea who that is.
Well, now that we found you, we should, if you're coming with, if not, I understand. We should probably head back to the manor before it's too late into the night.
I would second that, especially if Dark and Gruesome decides to appear. I'd rather get the jump on him than him get the jump on us.
So Ordo gets up from his chair, comes and slaps Jimmy on the shoulder. So, what do you say? You want to come and talk about plans on how to get out of here and have a nice, warm meal?
I'm gonna insight this guy.
Fucking
Yeah,
thank you.
He's totally trustworthy.
Yes.
Well, friend, unfortunately, my companions they want to stay somewhere else instead, and I don't want to leave their company.
I see. Well, these are all totally missing out on a great meal, a great warm bed. But you change your mind. Me and my wife will be here waiting for you to return.
Hey, maybe another night.
Definitely. He goes and sits back with his wife. You're standing outside of the inn. Are we deciding to go back to the manor? Okay.
Yeah, and Thomas is on high alert.
Could Jimmy dip into the mercantile store for the quick item? I could even do it without RP. Just tell you what.
It's closed at the time.
Okay.
Flicker's gonna walk next to, is it Salazar? Is that the guy who just
Yes,
jumped in?
Yeah.
Salazar, if you
Sal.
could describe your character for us.
He is a human. He has, he's dark hair, pale complexion, troubled eyes. Looks like he's seen things, holds himself
seen-
like he
he's seen some
knows
shit.
better. He's seen some stuff. Kind of has that air that he knows better than everyone else. Has a very dark look in his eyes. Is a he's a warlock. Has an air of magic, if that is a thing that you can sense. So yeah.
So
Yes,
Flicker
and-
will walk next to him. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, and I while you were gone, I kind of did like a very brief introduction character, and Flicker has seen a book in your hand, embroidered in gold and
Okay.
copper.
And she motions to the book, gives a knowing wink, and continues walking.
He gives
My
a wink.
cabbages!
He gives a wink in response, but that is a wink is not something that he is used to doing. And nods at her.
So you all go into the manor. You talk to Irina and explain to her that you have met Ismark, and that you all decided to come here and spend the night for the evening to move the body in the carriage. And you awake the next morning to the sound of the carriage out front.
Oh, Thomas is going to keep watch this for a bit to make sure this tall, dark, and gruesome character didn't stop by.
Yeah, there was no events over the evening.
Okay. He was going to get a moonbeam to the face. Moonbeam!
All right. Tell you what. Outside the coast is clear. Let's move this body into the carriage, and I got some stuff here to cover it up, and we'll move it to the church.
Yep. Do you have horses?
Why? I thought you were going to pull the carriage. As he beams a smile at you. Yes, I have a horse.
Well, I mean, I can pull the car. I just wasn't sure because this place don't seem very friendly to domesticated animals. They tend to have a sixth sense about this stuff.
Could Jimmy run to the merchant and see if they're open?
Yes, you're going to be passing right by the merchant.
Okay.
You can go ahead and just do that transaction, and I'll do this. So,
Okay, yeah.
some of you pile onto the carriage, and some of you are walking along the carriage, and you escort it
Thomas is walking beside it, prepared
to the north of town.
wild shape into something.
I keep losing your tokens.
And now,
Here, I'll let you move. There we go. So we're going up this way, and all the way to the end.
Flicker's just kicking her feet off the back of the carriage.
Thomas just rolls his eyes.
Could you throw a Salazar token down there?
Oh yes, I was
Podmore
second here.
is sitting next to Flicker with his feet also dangling off the back of the carriage.
So as you come up to this area, it's atop a slight rise. Against the roots of the pillar stone that supports Castle Ravenloft stands a gray sagging edifice of stone and wood. The church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end, and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises towards the back, and the rafters strain feebly against the load of the church. Your token should be down in the kind of closer to the bottom, to the left.
We're just missing our dwarf friend. Oh,
He's right there.
okay, I see him. He's just really hard to see. Okay, there we go.
Oh, I can't see his name and health bar again.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
I was like, where's
Fog
the-
of war?
There you go.
It's great but annoying at the same time. No offense to you, DM.
I think it's lovely.
I know it's great, but it's also annoying. Like,
Where
I
are they?
don't want realism in my D&D game. It's D&D, dang it.
Okay, 1 second here. Make sure you guys can see.
Guess we'll go inside. We'll see if the door's open first.
I'm just gonna be sitting here on the stairs waiting.
The heavy wooden doors of the church are covered with claw marks and is scarred by fire.
Does it look recently inflicted?
From what you know, no.
Okay.
Also, did you say who the church was in worship of?
No, I did not.
No. Can I look around and see if there's any markings on the outside that dictate that?
From what you can see in your knowledge, there's not any like specific symbol of a deity.
So it appears just to be a place of worship for all,
Correct.
kind of thing.
So this is where we're dumping the body?
Yes. Let's go inside and speak to Don Donovich. He is the priest here.
If I find father, I'm not sure what title you use for your clergy here.
He's just a priest. He doesn't have a special name or title.
Alright. Fair enough.
The doors here open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall, even though it's somewhat bright outside, with the sun not peeking through the clouds, but you can kind of tell that there is a sun in the sky. The hall here is a little dark, and it reeks of mildew. 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, lead to adjacent chambers. You can see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice from within reciting a prayer. Suddenly, the prayer is blotted out by an inhuman scream that rises up from beneath the wooden floor. I'm hungry, Father, I'm hungry.
What in the God's damn?
Oh, no.
Great.
Shit.
An old desk and chair stand against the south wall here. A wooden holy symbol mounted above them. A sunburst. A 10-foot long iron rod attached to the north wall stands bare, suggesting a tapestry once hung there. Against the far wall stands a wooden cabinet with 4 tall doors. Oh, I read the wrong description. Oh well.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
I didn't hear anything.
No. Grace.
La 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 la.
I read the wrong paragraph. You're in the chapel. The chapel is a shambles with overturned and broken pews littering the dusty floor. Dozens of candles mounted in candlesticks and candelabras light every dusty corner in a fervent attempt to rid the chapel of shadows. At the far end of the church sits a claw-scarred altar, behind which kneels a priest in soiled vestments. Next to him hangs a long, thick rope that stretches up into the bell tower. From beneath the chapel floor, you hear a young man's voice cry out, "Father, I'm starving!"
Father Donovich, you got about 2 seconds to explain.
That is my son, Doru. He has become afflicted. And I have been here praying all night in hopes to come up with a way to fix his affliction.
What affliction?
You mean he's become like
Vampirism.
master of this
Yes.
ramp?
Yes.
Father, I'm afraid to tell you, but from what I know, that's damn near impossible to fix.
That's impossible. I will find a way to fix my son.
I didn't say impossible. I said damn near
Uh, Father,
You would be doing.
I'm so
you'd be-
hungry, Father. Let me out. And with that,
You'd
we
be
take
doing
we
more
take
of
a 5-minute
kindness.
break. All right, we're back. And so we continue on. Father, I am hungry.
Thomas flinches basically at that. Mr. Drakovich, what if I put your son out of his misery? It's just gonna get worse until you feed him something fresh.
I just can't bear myself to do it. I will find a way to cure his affliction, though. I just know it.
When did this happen?
Yeah. Well, it was about a little more than a year ago. You know, Doru and several other villagers, they stormed Castle Ravenloft in a revolt. And they were lured there by a wizard in black robes who came to Barovia from a faraway land. And by all accounts, by all accounts, though, the wizard, died by the wizard died by Strahd's hand. And as far as everyone's concerned, so did Doru. And I have locked him in the basement here because he returned to me as a spawn of a vampire.
Oh.
How old is he?
He's roughly about 20 years old.
Well, again, all my druidic training and lore from you would need very powerful magic to reverse what's been done to your son.
Yes, but I see here you have brought me a body.
Yes.
And would you mind helping bury the body in the cemetery at dawn? So I think with more people to help, it'd be faster. He looks out the window.
Okay, isn't it?
Oh. Yes, it is. I've been here praying all hours of the night. I didn't realize the time that had passed by. Quickly, we must go and bury him before the town awakens. So no one knows.
All right, let's go bury the body.
Sorry if I get this.
So you don't take him. You all go outside to the back side where the graveyard is, and you bury the poor burgomaster in his grave. You all return back inside.
A couple druid prayers over his body.
Thank
They
you.
say some prayers, and you're welcome. And say some prayers and return back inside to discuss further. Father, Ismark speaks up. Father Donovich, we must get Irina to safety.
Oh, okay, it was Ismark talking.
Ismark, yes. Sorry.
Again.
Nope.
Yeah, but I guess it was the kid again. Thomas gonna go down there and kill that kid.
Not a kid.
He's 20 years old. To Thomas, that's a kid.
The youth.
He's young and dumb. Like, this is slowly grating on him.
Why, yes, Ismark. I believe that we should take Irina as far from Castle Ravenloft as possible and keep her safe. You know, I propose that you all take her to the Abbey of St. Markovia in Krezek.
I got a question for you, Father Donovich. Have you seen this young lady? I can't. Can you type out her name? Because I keep forgetting it.
Gertruda, I put it in the party's Discord journal.
Okay. Can't remember. I didn't know if I put it there or not. Okay, Gertruda. Okay. Have you seen a young woman named Gertruda?
No, I don't. I don't know that child at all.
He's gonna insight this guy because he's getting a bad feeling. With the spawn being under the floor.
Your insight reveals to you that you believe that this man has good intentions of saving his son, and that since he is the town priest, if you will, he has the best interest of the town.
Anything about him not knowing with this child? Or not seeing her?
Nope. No, nothing.
Okay. Oh, very well.
Well, does Irina have any opinion on where she goes?
I don't see why you're all making a big deal. I can protect myself. Irina,
Not
the
against
same.
this threat.
Yes. I'm quite a strong woman. But I understand that
do
you
not
all
doubt
want to
your
keep me
strength.
safe. And that I think probably either Valakai, we could find some place for me to hide in Valakai amongst the large population there. Or I suppose. What's else? Okay, oops, okay. I was like, what is that? The the Abbey, I suppose. It's just a very long journey, but we'll have to make it carefully.
Well, is the Abbey on the is this other town on the way to the Abbey?
Donovich looks at you and yes, Valakai is down the road, several days travel, and the Abbey is several more days after that.
I would like to go to the Abbey.
Well, we can use this other town as a place to stock up and maybe get some knowledge. Perhaps someone there has
I
seen this
agree.
Gertruda.
I'm thinking if we can get to the Abbey, Abbeys are known to have vast libraries of knowledge. We might be able to find.
Thomas looks at the altar. Has the Abbey been attacked by what? What kind of claws did it look like?
We've been getting attacked by wolves, and the wolves stopped attacking the town about 3 days ago.
Mm. Interesting.
Which
About the same time as the burgomaster died.
Yeah.
what is it about the burgomaster that made Strahd so angry to attack? Or who's ever saying these?
I don't know why the wolves were attacking. It just makes no sense to us. Oh wait, I do remember something. Something about us being short on taxes. And Strahd was not very pleased with us for being short on the taxes.
Man, you guys have taxes in this place too. Oh,
Well, yes, I think everyone has to
Do
pay
with
taxes.
taxes.
It is to pay for our safety in this land. Strahd requires the
Safety
burgomaster
from what?
from one of the wolves, you see.
From what?
If the burgomaster does not, if the town does not pay Strahd when he comes to collect the taxes, the burgomaster always seems to meet an unfortunate death.
Have you gone through many burgomasters?
Over the
Strahd
years of
does
my
not
life,
seem very
yes,
smart.
we have gone through a couple. As our town is very poor, and it's very hard for us to have the taxes.
Yeah, this Strahd fella don't seem too bright.
Sounds to me like he's an extortion.
He is, but he's doing it in a stupid way. I mean, you don't want to kill your crop, but tax death.
Well, in my experience, sometimes you do need to send a message, but I prefer to make my money another way.
All right, so what do you all want to do?
Well, I agree with going ahead and traveling out to a different town or city, especially if we feel like there's no more information that we can get about Gertruda here. But Gertruda is definitely Nyx's top priority. She wants to find her.
Flicker really wants to go to the Abbey.
Thomas
Let's
just wants
make
to
our
get the
way
hell
to the
out of
next
here.
village.
Yeah, he seems a good choice.
Yeah, to the Abbey we go since it's on the way to this other town. Yeah. And I guess we're using the horse and cart to get out of town.
Yes, you'll be taking the horse and cart with you. So if you zoom out, you'll ask. You now have 2 towns highlighted on your map. Yeah, who's ever measuring it? Who's measuring it? Nyx? Yeah, that's not the actual distance.
Yeah, I figured it's
More than 11 miles. You have to go down
that's
around.
Thomas.
Oh, Thomas. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was just saying, like the straightest, like the best way to a place is the straight line, but
So out of town, you see a road to the southwest and a road to the east in which you came.
So, southwest? I'm guessing that we can't get to the other cities via the closed gate that we came through.
to the bridge.
All right, you're crossing over the bridge, and it's over to the southwest. You're crossing over the river. I'm just gonna open up the map as you kind of get into that area.
Boop, boop. So we started here. So to get to there would be what, like 6 hours?
Yeah, so you can go over to the crossroads there, the little right. Oh, wrong tool. Yeah, that would be 8 hours.
Okay.
All right, hold on 1 second.
As soon as we're out of town, Thomas seems to breathe a little easier, but not really. If if I don't ever go back there, I'd be
So,
very.
as you come up on these crossroads, an old wooden gallows creaks in a chill wind that blows down from the high ground to the west. A frayed length of rope dances from its beam. The well-worn road splits here, and a signpost opposite the gallows points off in 3 directions. Barovia Village to the east, Taser Pool to the northwest, and Ravenloft or Valakai to the southwest. The northwest fork slants down and disappears into the trees, while the southwest fork clings to an upward slope. Across from the gallows, a low wall, crumbling in places partially enclosed, is a small plot of graves shrouded in fog. And there seems to be a body hanging from the gallows. You hear a creaking noise behind you, and coming from the gallows, where there was nothing before, now hangs a lifeless gray body. The breeze turns the hanged figure slowly, so that it can fix its dead eyes upon you.
Oh, hells no.
Flicker keeps an eye on the body as we are pulling away from it. She's still sitting on the back of the cart, swinging her legs.
I'll bow
So you're-
from my shoulder and put it in hand.
So your choice is here. Either go north, westish, to a trail that is a little off beaten, and to the pond area, or you can get a long way around and go through the paved road.
Be right back.
I'd quite like to see the pool. Could be a good place to camp.
Jimmy thinks wants the pool too.
Are there any signs for anybody else who may have traveled this way? Maybe perhaps just I mean, I'm assuming if Gertrude traveled this way and it's her first time ever out of her house, I'd imagine she probably would leave something noticeable. So that's one thing to try and look for.
Oh yeah, look for tracks.
And the tracks in the ground, you do see some wagon tracks going towards the pool path.
Well, I suppose we can try this way.
He's gonna ask. Tom's gonna ask the two natives are with. What's up? What's up towards this way?
Well, that's Teaser Pool. That is a known encampment area of what would be the word I would use for you? Have you ever heard of the Vistani?
The what?
The Vistani.
I don't know.
Vis-
Have I ever heard of the Vistani?
No, you have not.
Again, we're not native to this area. We don't know nothing about nothing.
The Vistani are what you would call travelers, gypsies, if you will.
Oh.
Gypsies? Let's make our way up this path, but do it cautiously.
I agree. Maybe these Vistani have seen Gertrude.
Are you guys sure we shouldn't lay that hanging body to rest?
I ain't going near that thing. If you want to touch it, by all means. But it wasn't there a second ago.
That thing.
I don't trust bodies that appear
Out of nowhere.
I don't trust bodies that appear out of nowhere in thin air. Not
Can
at all.
I look at the body and use my divine sense to basically try and see if it would be most likely undead. I don't think it would be a celestial or fiend, but I'll take a look at it.
You smell a very putrid smell in the air. But you don't feel any undead. At least within 60 feet of you, that is.
Oh my, how ominous.
You want me to cut it down?
I wouldn't go near it if I were you. I would stay far away.
Leave it. Let's move on. We've been standing still too.
And Thomas is going to keep his eye on it as they're walking away.
Oh, then if the majority doesn't want to, we won't. But as continuing down the road, Admore's going to say a prayer for that man's soul.
As you're going down the road, you're saying your prayer, you look up, and there's no body hanging from the ropes, as if it disappeared and vanished into thin air.
Is that like a typical trick that vampires do?
Let me get your tokens for you. Let's see where they at. Let's see, there's add more. Flicker, you need one. And Janara. And Nix.
I've got the
Salazar.
baby, so if I don't talk, that's why.
Okay.
Hey, little baby. Ooh, he looks familiar.
All right, almost ready. No yawning now. So the road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There is a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake several hundred feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbrindled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around a bonfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest edge.
I guess these are the Vistani. Guess we should go make introductions.
Jimmy will walk up. Hey guys, we're new to the area.
Come, join us, says one of the men. Oh, his token's missing. Oh, I moved it. Right there.
Oh,
Does-
I thought that was.
No, it's not his mark. It's a different one. I'm
Alright.
London. It's a different guy.
All right. My house for now. I need a rest. Maybe a drink.
Why you folk look like you could kick back and enjoy the festivities. We're just out here having some fun. And
You got any alcohol?
yes, I got some alcohol, and he hands you some ale in a flask.
Oh, thank the gods. You, sir, are a lifesaver.
I was just about to begin a tale.
He just like chugs it.
Come, gather in the
Jeez.
fire. I was about to tell the tale of a mighty wizard.
Flicker looks so interested.
Before we start, have any of y'all seen a young woman named Gertruda?
Why no? Nope. Sorry to say we haven't.
She's a young woman missing from the town of Barovia.
Ah,
She's
I see. I always thought maybe she was a betrothed or something, but no.
No, she's more of a sheltered child from what her mother said.
All right. So you gather all on the campfire. Interesting to hear this tale. And he stands up, and you can kind of tell he's getting himself ready for his story. A mighty wizard came to this land over a year ago. I remember him like it was yesterday. He stood exactly where you're standing, as he points to Flicker. A very charismatic man he was. He thought he could rally the people of Barovia against the devil Strahd. He stirred them with thoughts of revolt and bore them to the castle in Moss. When the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasant army fled in terror. A few stood their ground and were never seen again. The wizard and the vampire cast spells at each other. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to a precipice overlooking the falls. I saw the battle with my own eyes. Thunder shook the mountainside, and great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard. Yet, by his magic, he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. But when the devil's Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic couldn't save him. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his death. I climbed down to the river to search for the wizard's body to see if, he had anything of value. But the river Avilis had already spirited him away.
Too bad. I bet he would have had some good stuff.
Probably.
We do carry some nice things on us. Can I insight check that to see if he was really there or if it's just a story that he tells?
Sure. To your knowledge, he was actually there during this grand battle.
Flicker's just in awe. Did the wizard have a name?
I can't recollect his name at all. I'm quite sorry.
Oh, that's a shame. Do you know if anyone else knows his name?
He looks around. I think I was probably the only one here when he was here. My travelers here were not around during that time.
Well, if it was only a year ago, where were they?
They were off on travels.
Just gonna side-eye him a little bit.
So, just out of curiosity, you guys all seem to be pretty happy around here, whereas in Barovia, everybody seemed pretty miserable. Why is that? I mean, this is still cursed land after all.
Well, yes, it is cursed, but why not drink and be merry and make lemonade from lemons, as they say.
Well, it's like that old phrase: eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you may die. And in
There
this
you go.
place,
That's the spirit. That's the spirit of the Vistani.
very good alcohol, by the way. I definitely needed it. Fucking disappearing and reappearing corpses. Bullshit.
Yes, sounds like you need another drink. He hands you another one.
Are these folks visibly armed?
No, they're not visibly armed.
Okay.
I know some of their pictures has like the girl has a dagger and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's just cool. It's just cool pictures I found. Yeah.
Okay.
So, are you from Barovia originally, or were you sucked in too?
No, we travel about the lands of Ravenloft and explore, if you may say, the edges of this realm.
I don't suppose you know a way out.
Why, yes, actually, we actually make potions that help you travel through the different realms. Tell you what, I'll sell you one.
Thomas is gonna like squint. He's like half drunk right now because he's drank a lot.
Tell you what, since you seem to be a pretty good guy, I will sell you one for just 1 gold piece. Your insight makes you feel like you might be getting hustled.
Please, I've seen your kind before. Or rather, people like you're trying to sell snake oil.
Let's see, Admore, what would you like to do?
Admore's kind of just currently sitting back, watching everything, taking it all in. Being spent most of his life in a temple, this is all quite new to him.
Jimmy will ask the guy who's been talking to us, hey, buddy, you guys have any jobs that need doing around here, or do you know anybody in your camp that might be a little more knowledgeable?
As you ask this question, a gentleman walks from the camp, from the tent, from the upper right. He kind of interrupts everybody, and I'm sorry to interrupt here, but Madam Eva would like to speak to the Georgios. And everyone just becomes quiet and stares amongst each other as he kind of gestures. The Georgios.
Us, Thomas.
Ah, right. I don't think I'm in any type of way to do much talk.
All right, well, I'll go
right.
talk with her if she wants.
Okay.
Yeah. Flicker will get up to go talk to her.
Yeah, I'll see what she has to say. He stands up a little wobbly.
Inside the tent, it's very packed in with different items laying about. And in this tent is an elderly woman. She's, as you see, she's quite dressed in your typical, what you would imagine your gypsy garb. And what?
Let me guess. A fortune teller.
Magic flames are casting a reddish glow over the interior of this tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. At last you arrived. Crackling laughter bursts like a mad lightning from her lips. Oh, my young flicker, the seer. The visions you have, I know. Jannar, the hunter of wolves. So glad to finally see you. I don't know who you are. As she looks at Nyx, you are out of my reach of my magic crystal ball. Something about you is hiding you. Come, sit down. I tell you what, let's see what the Taroka has to say about this. As she produces a deck of cards. I'm going to preface this with this part is very important to take notes. Tell me who would like to shuffle the cards and see what the cards have to say.
Flicker raises her hand.
Thomas like pats us on the chest. I hate when I do that. What's going on now?
I'll shuffle them.
Okay, so Flicker and Janara, roll me a d20. Janara sits down first, and she hands slides a deck of cards over to you, Janara, and you pick them up, and you begin to shuffle them. And she smiles at you, and she says, "You seek the one who moves from human to wolf. It haunts you, I see. Shuffle the cards until it cannot be shuffled anymore." And you begin to shuffle the cards, and by some unknown power, the cards just will not shuffle anymore. And she smiles at you, and you hand the cards back. The cards know all. And she turns the first one over. This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy. Ah, the Eight of Bishop. What you seek lies in a pile of treasure beyond a set of amber doors. That is a very interesting card. This card, it tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope that's going to help you in your journeys. Mhm. One second. I don't remember. Why is it not on my list? It's hiding from me. I see a room, a dark room full of bottles. It is the tomb of a guild member. This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword made of sunlight. As she closes her eyes, I see a dead village, drowned by a river, ruled by one who has brought great evil into the world. This card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in your battle against this darkness. Look for a dusk elf living among the Vistani. He has suffered a great loss and is haunted by dark dreams. Help him.
What elf?
A dusk
Dusk
elf.
elf?
Dusk elf.
Dusk
Yes.
elf.
Help him, and he will help you in return. Yes, Jannar. Dusk. The beast. Oh my. Your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. Oh, Janara, you're not going to like this card. Not at all. A werewolf holds a secret hatred for your enemy. Use her hatred to your advantage. Something tells me you're going to have to make friends with those you hunt.
You're right. I don't like.
Now, this has drained me very much. If there's not any questions you have directly, please join my crew outside and spend the evening with us.
I do have a question for you, madam. Can you see a young woman named Gertruda through your magic?
She pulls out her crystal ball and she peers into it. Describe
We
this
have
woman.
one of her belongings. If that, Thomas describes her and shows her the doll.
She looks at the doll and flickers hands, and she begins to peer into her crystal ball. I see her. She's sitting on a bed, but I cannot tell where.
She's 11.
Is it a
Yes,
nice
she's
bed?
like, yes, it is a very nice bed.
What do the walls look like? Stone or wood?
She looks again, and she screams, all I see is blood.
Oh.
I mean, the castle with the vampire has a really nice bed.
That's what I was. Thank you, madam.
Does anyone else have any questions?
How the hell do we get out of this place? Do we have to beat the shit out of the Strahd character or something?
Oh, that sweet, drunken water spirit.
I
You must know
ain't
that.
drunk no more. I fixed that.
Oh, you fix it?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
less
lesser restoration.
restoration.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, he's like, I
My
better not be drunk for this.
my creature of
might be important.
my creature of water. You must know that when the fogs claim you, the lands claim you, you are cursed.
Oh, well, I didn't know that, but damn it.
Hey,
Do any of these, what these cards say? Does any do you know any of those locations? Like the dead village drowned by a river. Does that ring any bells for you?
You know, I am horrible at knowing what these cards mean, except for what my visions give me. But seek the crows. They will help you.
Crows equals good?
She smiles at you, Flicker, and says, it depends on what you define as good and evil. All walk this land.
Okay, crows equal helpful.
Some say yes, perhaps they're helpful.
Are we talking like normal crows or like weird magic crows?
You will know when you see them.
Oh. We're magic crows.
Just real quick. What are we looking for in the guild member's tomb?
A holy symbol.
Holy symbol.
You talking about for your notes?
yeah.
You talking about for your notes?
Yeah.
Okay. It is a holy symbol.
So let's go find this dusk elf real quick. And
Yeah, that seems like our best.
I'll reread it for you. It says, this card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope.
Okay, so just real quick for the notes. For the first card, it's the history. The
Yes.
second card is the holy symbol.
Yes.
The third card is the sword.
Yes.
The fourth card It's the Dusk Elf, and it's just him helping us.
Yes, one who will help you greatly in your battle against darkness.
Okay, and then the werewolf will also help.
Hmm.
Okay, so if anyone else has anything to add in the journal, I tried to put them all there.
I've got one more question, if you don't mind, lady. Why are you helping us? Like everybody else that we've encountered has asked for our help.
You don't.
But
You don't look a gift horse in the mouth, son.
that's how you die.
Exactly.
If you don't mind, I'd like the answer.
I just have a feeling. This is Admiral, right?
Jim.
Jimmy. I just have this strangest feeling that the cards should have been read for you. That I feel great sorrow about a woman in your life that's drawn me to help you with these cards.
Okay.
Jimmy's your wife, okay?
She was doing fine last time I met her. I mean, hopefully I'll get enough money so we can open our bakery. But I don't know. Maybe she's not happy in the marriage, but she seemed happy to me. You know, sometimes a guy can't know these.
And Thomas strictly says it's probably the milkman.
Better not be the milkman. I know him. I know where he sleeps.
I'm just messing with you.
Well, Jimmy's spooked out by this woman. He doesn't want to talk to her anymore.
No, and Admore wouldn't have said anything. He just not believe any of this.
You have a good night, madam. Night, right? It is night. Yes.
It's about night.
I don't like not having a son. It's messing with me.
All right. Did we lose Salzar? Where's Salzar?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
No, he's here. He's just quiet.
Yeah, I'm just catching up.
As you are all leaving, she grabs you by the arm, Salzar, from across the table, and she looks you dead in the eye. And no one else hears this, as you've all have already left. And she whispers, "Careful who you make deals with, my child." And she lets you go and walk out.
Dun dun dun.
His face is stricken with fear. Whoops.
and you age 1d10 plus 10 years. Fucking ghosts.
Admore's gonna tell the group like why would we have to go find a holy symbol when I already have one here with me? And holds up his right hand.
Perhaps it's strong. Perhaps it's stronger and can be used against the Strahd fella. Beat his ass. Cause it sounds like he needs his ass beat.
It may mean something to him specifically.
That too. Maybe it's some kind of weird magical bane thing. That's usually how it works for you holy types, isn't it?
Vampires don't like holy symbols, anyways.
My holy symbol.
He wasn't always a vampire.
So as Admore's holding up his right hand, he says his holy symbol. You see, different color than all of his other armor, a all white gauntlet on his right hand.
Who do you follow exactly?
I follow Torm, the god of courage and self-sacrifice.
Oh, nice.
That is an honorable faith. I'm happy to have you amongst our travelers, and hopefully among a friend.
And who do you follow, Nix?
She'll pull a necklace out from beneath her armor, and it's oh gosh, wait, I can't remember what it is.
Don't hurt yourself.
Okay, it's a pair of eyes surrounded by 7 stars. She'll say,
Ooh.
the Moon Maiden, Saloon.
Hmm.
It is my intent to spread her light as far as it can go, and perhaps even farther than previously known. I think where we found ourselves is in a unique position. We have an opportunity here to help people who may not have previously been able to receive it. And I would like to try if I could. The darkness is not a place that I think anyone should be left to.
Well, I don't have any better ideas than that.
Indeed. Might as well help these folks out. After all, helping them out might help us.
So should we just review what we're looking for? So I think we're looking for a place with some amber doors.
Amber doors, a drowned village, a dust elf that's here in the camp somewhere, and
We're looking for a dark room filled with bottles, the tomb of a guild member for a holy symbol. The sword of made of sunlight should be in a dead village drowned by a river.
which I can get to.
The history is in a pile of treasure beyond amber doors. Our seer is a dusk elf living among the Vistani. And our beast is a werewolf who holds a secret hatred for Strahd. Which, if the hatred is secret, I wonder if the werewolves in this area, work for Strahd.
Salazar would speak up. Uh, the amber doors are familiar to me, potentially.
Really?
I am.
How so?
There's an amber temple. I don't know the exact location, but it is a place that I am tasked with entry of.
Tasked by whom?
It, you know,
No, I don't know.
we you know, a deity. But don't worry about it. But that
In this realm, I am concerned about everything.
it's
It's everyone's personal business which deity they follow. You shouldn't force it out of them until they're ready to tell you.
Thank you.
You say that until you discover they're following Vecna, and then they're stabbing you in the back while you're asleep.
I would never follow Vecna.
I stand on my ground. You do not need to question everyone's personal beliefs at all times.
I'm more questioning as
Start
to
with trust.
whom tasked him to find this
Well,
Amber Temple.
I would agree. I think piety doesn't
Well,
vocalized. I
all
think
that
as long as
matters.
one's
well,
strong, they are clear to act as they see fit.
All that matters
well,
is that we are all here out of good intent, and none of us are here out of evil.
Yes, Janara, what are you trying to say?
well. While y'all were discussing deities and stuff, I'm talking to the gypsies trying to find the location of the.
The location of what?
The Dusk Elf.
The dust.
Okay. Okay. Um, the one of the Vistani that the question, they mentioned that there is some another band of Vistani that off of the town of Valakai that know about Dusk Elves.
Where are they at again?
Off of the town of Valakai.
Okay.
In regards to this Amber Temple, she'll look at Salazar. It would seem that I have been charged with seeking it out as well. Before I came here, I had a dream of sorts, and within that dream, I found myself within a room. It had amber walls and floors, and within it there was a sarcophagus. I don't know what the importance of this was, but I would like to find it and find out.
I would happily assist you with this. This seems to be the same location.
Question: was there any gold in the Amber Temple?
Are you asking that to your fellow players? Or are you asking me this?
No, I'm asking this to the players.
If I recall, the diviner mentioned something about a pile of treasure beyond the doors.
Yeah.
Which
there's a pile of treasure in the Amber Halls.
I am thoroughly convinced of the wisdom in going to the Amber Temple.
But also the Abbey.
I wouldn't do that until we know what exactly we could be expecting inside this temple.
I'm not sure if these are one of the same, but in this dream I also saw a dark elf. He was dressed a bit auspiciously, somewhat of an entertainer. He was there and he placed his hand on the sarcophagi, and I don't know exactly what happens after that. So I'm not sure if this dusk elf that we're seeking out is one and the same, but these seem to be connected.
Quite possible.
Admore's gonna speak up and say, "Oh, go ahead."
I was about to say, we've been sitting here. I don't like being out in the open like this. I think we need to.
Well, no.
This is as far as I plan on you all going tonight. So I'm enjoying you guys role playing, and then I'll end it here in a little bit.
All right.
Admore is gonna speak up and say, "Yes, going to the temple that you guys seek does sound like a good idea, but we must keep our word first and get them to the Abbey and find Gertruda."
We just have to find a really nice bed with lots of blood, and then we'll find Gertruda.
Well, lots of blood, really nice bed, maybe in a castle owned by this Strahd guy that you guys keep mentioning, a vampire.
That seems to be the most logical choice.
Perhaps we should get these special, like the sword of sunlight and all that stuff before we go to the guy's home.
If the stories are true, it seems that this wizard that he battled before us was probably much stronger than we are. And if he was able to fell him, I'm not quite sure that we would fare much better.
But there's what, 7 of us? There was only 1 of him. And we have a wizard as well. So, just saying.
And a baby who finds it entertaining.
The baby, the baby is our mascot. Leave him alone. He's adorable.
He's been screaming this whole time.
Oh, he can't help it.
Oh no, like he's excited. Like he's not crying, he's just talking.
His name's Arthur, right?
Yep, he's just a very loud talker.
No.
All right. So you're all going to spend the night here with the gypsies and enjoy
Yeah.
their
I'm
festivities
gonna
and
keep
food.
watch. He's not gonna get drunk again because something might happen. He'll probably hang out by
So-
the water.
So those who are sleeping, you lay your heads down and you'll all have the same dream. You're sitting in a large cauldron, up to your neck in a foul smelling liquid, and are surrounded by 3 hags, adding ingredients and stirring the pot. They're describing to you the flavor they want to achieve as they eat you. And with that ends the session.
Dun dun dun.
So
That was
that
fun.
concludes the session for night. I'm glad we got some good role playing out of it. And
I'm only
I
a little
said,
disappointed that we can't keep going.
yeah. This is as far as I got. You guys
I
moved
mean,
faster than I
I'm-
thought you were going to move. So
I mean, I'm actually good to play for like another hour because I go into work late tomorrow. Woo.
yeah, I'm not though.
Fair enough.
Before falling asleep, Admore's gonna make the comment that, well, if we have to find a room full of bottles, maybe Thomas can sniff it out as much as he's been drinking.
Just middle finger, just.
Oh, no worries. So out of the sleeping bag. So okay. So I need from you all to discuss in chat and get back with me. We need some roles. We need someone to be the when you guys get treasure. What we're gonna do is at the end of the session, that person would have been responsible for keeping track of the treasure found, and then we can decide how it's gonna be split.
Thicker.
And then I also need you all to vote on a person that's going to be kind of like the spokesperson of the group, as far as like if there needs to be a decision made, you all decide, and then that person tells me what you want to do.
How about
And
Nick?
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay.
Nick
Thanks,
has
guys.
the head on the
everyone
shoulders. And
everyone is going to do something. So
Okay.
Oh.
I will be the spokesperson.
okay,
Mhm.
well, that's
Are you
easy.
guys cool if Flicker does treasure?
I think
And
she'll
as long as
probably
somebody
keep
can
the
keep
best
up with
records
it.
out of all of us.
she's take notes on everything.
Yeah.
Love notes.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm
I was
really
the kid that,
bad
like,
at doing that.
I was always the banker.
The bankers are good.
Okay, and so the way the experience is going to work, instead of like you get experience from killing the monsters, an XYZ amount of experience. Some of these sessions are going to be very role play intensive. As you can see, it's tonight. You didn't combat anything. So I give you adventure points. And the adventure points are awarded
Ooh.
as objectives or tasks that you complete within the game. And I have number values for each one. I can't share that list with you, or else you know everything in the game.
Obviously.
After the session, I'll put into chat and I'll update on the Adventure Point channel what your points are. And that way it kind of motivates you all to like role play and not just going around hitting everything with your sword.
Well, it's a good thing I don't have a sword.
All right, and I think that's it. I need to cover. So yeah, so we're expecting the post, the at here post from me about your points. And so like level 4 is 4 points, level 5 is 5 points, and so forth. This game will probably max out around level 9 or 10.
Woo. Well, I mean, I hope it's level 10 because then I can turn into an earth elemental punch people in the face.
Yes, 10,
really
10
hard.
is a big number for a lot of people.
Like I love being a moon. I love being a moon druid because that was that was my first ever character because Thomas is actually my first ever character. I just used him for this game. And in that game, we got to level 14 before it ended, which was fun. Because Earth Elemental plus Sunbeam equals just bad things for a vampire. But unfortunately, Moonbeam is a 6th level spell.
Okay, sorry to interrupt, but if there's nothing else, I'm gonna head out though, because I'm literally in the middle of packing everything out.
Okay.
I'm moving
Oh
tomorrow
yeah,
morning,
yeah.
so
Shoo.
Yes. Yes, thank you for
Be
joining us.
gone.
all right.
It was
Well,
nice to meet
very nice.
you.
Yeah, it was
Have
very nice to meet
fun.
everybody. Good job.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
We all survived.
All right,
I'm
with
actually
that,
really shocked that we didn't try and kill that vampire spawn.
Thomas was about 2 rounds from doing that. Just saying that if we had stayed any longer, he would have killed that kid.
So had I been playing any other kind of character that I normally would play, yes, I would have went down there and like drug Thomas with me. But
Oh, Thomas would have been
that's
down
why
there
I
with you,
chose.
like in full bear form.
That's why I chose to play this character, something completely out of my realm.
That's the
of
same with
stuff I
Flicker.
play.
I usually play a ranger who
Ooh,
is
Rangers.
just...
I'm
Shut
sorry.
up! I love my ranger. She was my
Ranger-
very first one too.
Well, that's good. It's just I find Rangers utterly pointless in 5e.
They're pretty broken. They're really
No,
good.
well, the thing is, all their features rely on the DM heavily.
Well, as long as you play UA Ranger.
Yeah, I usually play UA ranger.
But even then, with the whole favorite enemy, favorite terrain thing, that's holy shit, and that's their main feature.
Yeah, but you picked that before you know the story, so.
Right, but that's my point though. It's like you can be fucked over really easy. You can't use your main features for anything. To me, that right there is a bad class design. If it relies that heavily on a DM to give you certain terrains and certain enemies.
I do know that Wizards has talked about showing some of the classes some love, so we'll see.
I mean, in my opinion, they should have just left Rangers as like a 4e thing and not import into 5e because as it stands, Ranger's most important function, exploring, is the least fleshed out part of 5e.
all right, y'all. I'm going to
some
go ahead and end the stream here and continue next week. I will talk to you all later.
I have to.
Thank you.
I have to watch the VOD.
Yeah, thank you. I had a lot of fun.
And thank you.
But yeah, so
Yeah, peace out, yeah.